Hi, everyone. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Evan Moor, and I didn't realize that they had a lot of these younger age educational resources until I picked up this resource. In this video, I'm going to show you the inside of this Evan Moor's social skills activities for today's kids. And this one is intended for ages 6 to 7. This resource is included in the Timberdoodle's first grade curriculum kit. So make sure to check out the links I'm going to have posted down in the description box so that you can get complete access. Evan Moore Social Skills Activities for Today's Kids comes in workbooks for starting at ages 4 all the way through age 11. So check those out based on your students' needs. And this particular one includes 75 activities which involve cutting and pasting, tracing, matching, art projects, all surrounding the ideas of social skills that involve making friends, being at school, and going places. And on the back of the book, it states that practicing social skills can help children have positive social experiences, thinking about things such as how to act, what feels comfortable, how to deal with feelings, and how to establish boundaries are all part of developing social skills. Preparing for situations with friends, with people at school, with people at restaurants and stores, and with people online can help children feel more confident and give them the tools they need to have positive outcomes. And I really wanted these skills to be addressed, especially with our first grader, because she could be a little bit more on the timid side. And this resource, I thought, was very helpful for that. Let's go ahead and look inside. If you look on the contents page, you can see that the 3 big topics that I had mentioned before that are going to be covered throughout this book are making friends, being at school, and going places. I really liked that the pages were full of color, although sometimes the color can be somewhat distracting. But it was very inviting, and I like how the resource invites a lot of interaction, especially within the family. So the first section is about making friends, and not only how to verbally introduce ourselves, like say like hi, or to wave and to do a fist pump and smile at them, but I like how this resource includes how our body can also speak. And on this page, here's some questions that you can actually ask a new friend. So this is giving your kids some practice on what to say. For instance, what is a game that you like to play? What pets do you have? And what food do you like? You know, at that young age, kids don't always know how to interact and socialize. So I really like how the resource is training the kid how to be a friend. And on page 14, you get to do an art project, an activity where you make a puppet and then you practice being a friend, kind of doing a role play, and have the puppets talk to each other. So that was a lot of fun. There are even games interspersed throughout the resource, like bingo. And on this page, you can see that friendship is being compared to an ice cream sundae and how friendships are nice to have, like an ice cream sundae. There are a lot of cutting and pasting exercises throughout the book. Our first grader likes to draw, so she enjoyed these pages where she was prompted to draw. On this page, we made a friendship card, and our first grader made one for her little sister, but I cannot find it, unfortunately. On this page, you get to make a buddy badge that helps remind you to be a good friend. The next little section is about playing at my house and working on how to invite friends over. Like, do you want to come over? And what do you want to do? And the next page addresses when friends say no about coming over. Rejection is hard no matter what age you are, but to help the child expect that you're not always going to get a positive answer, this was a good lesson for our daughter. Rules can be different in other people's houses, and this page addresses how to respectfully abide by rules at friends' houses, even if you don't do it the same way in your own home. For example, There are snacks for us in the kitchen. We don't eat snacks in the living room. You want to be able to abide by the rules at their house. Maybe in your house, you are allowed to eat snacks in the living room, but maybe at your friend's house, you aren't. So helping the child be aware of those situations. Next, we have compromising. What if a friend likes to eat different kinds of snacks? Then what do? Then you get a chance to learn how to compromise. These are totally important life skills, y'all. Here's another cut and paste page, and it addresses when friends like to do different things. Because your friend might not eat the same kind of snacks or like the same kind of snacks, and they may not like to do the same kind of things that you like to do. So what do you do then? And I like this page about how to make friends feel welcomed and at home when they come over to your house. Here's another important life skill. What do? How do you behave when you're eating with other people? So this page talks about a lot of manners that you want to keep in mind when you're eating with others around, such as washing your hands before you eat, chewing with your mouth closed, bring your dish to the sink when you finish eating. And throughout the resource, you're going to have a chance to have a time where you can interact with your own family and talk about it with your family. So on this page, the answers could vary. Your family may or may not be okay with you using the bathroom before asking, or getting a snack from the kitchen cabinet. Well, of course, I think you should do that for sure. If you're going to do that in someone else's house, you should probably ask before getting a snack from the kitchen cabinet. But in your own home, maybe you don't need to ask. These are some scenarios that you might face when you go to someone else's house, or if friends come over, do they need to ask before cleaning up your mess? I mean, I feel like you should clean up your mess without having to ask first. What adult would be upset if a child was cleaning up their mess without being told or asked to? Here's a cut and paste page where you are taught about acting as a guest. You want to make sure you say thank you and put away the things that you play with. And you don't ever want to get food without asking or running in the house or climbing on the furniture. So these are things you might want to cover before you are a guest. So the next section is about being at school. And just like there are rules in the home, there are going to be rules in school. I really should have waited for the glue to dry before closing the book, and that's why these pages are not looking that great. So sorry about that. So here's some rules that you might face in a classroom. For instance, raise your hand, help each other, share with others, and tell the truth. We also get to talk about when it's okay to talk in class, and when it's your turn to talk, and how to control your anger at school and what you can do about it. We never think about it, but we have emotions, and sometimes they're not going to be positive emotions. So how do you handle anger if you're at school? How can we make good choices even when we're angry? And also knowing when to respect people's spaces. And not only that, but we also want to make sure that we have healthy hygiene habits. You don't want to be coughing all over the place and getting other people sick if you're sick. And we want to make sure to wash our hands and sneeze into our elbow. Most schools at the younger ages do some sort of a show and tell, and that is a fun way to get to learn about other people. Here's another page where you get to talk with your family. This page prompts us about what is okay to bring to school and what's not okay to bring to school. And when we're in school, you're going to have lunchtime. So what is the etiquette on eating with other people? But of course, if you're homeschooled, you may have siblings that you will be eating with as well. But of course, at home, we're not always on our best behavior, but we kind of want to learn what it means to have the right attitude and right etiquette when it comes to eating around people. And in school, you may have to ask a friend to eat with you. And this page talks about how to ask a friend to eat with you, even if you're shy to ask. Here's some more ideas on how to get talking at lunchtime. Another page prompting a family discussion, and this one is about what is okay and what is not okay to share. Here's another cut and paste page, and it's about being a good citizen playing in a playground. And being kind at the playground, to me, is another life skill that we really need to hone in our kids, because we need to capture that when they're young. And the playground is a great place to practice that. We also get to talk about what is safe and not safe while you're at the playground. And how can we ask nicely to play with someone at the park? Here's another page about how to handle our emotions. And this page covers how to deal with anger at the playground. And sadly, bullying is a thing and it happens. And this page does a great job with covering this sensitive topic in a way a little child can understand. As a friend even, how can you help a friend that you see is being bullied? Would you just stand there and watch? Or are you going to be brave and say stop? And you can tell a teacher, and you can also try to help. Oops. Okay. Like I said, these pages, I really should have waited for them to dry, but honestly, our first grader, she just kind of took the resource on her own and was kind of independent about it. This page talks about what if we want to play by ourselves, because sometimes we don't want to play with somebody, and that's okay. You know, we are human, and sometimes we just want to be alone. This family discussion prompting page is about calling friends on the phone. I'm really thankful that Evan Moor included pages like these where you get to come together as a family and talk about social topics. This page, your child can learn their phone number or the parent's phone number. And then the last big section is about going places. Talking with people can be hard, especially for a child who is more on the timid side. And here we get to talk about that, about how saying hello can be hard. It's another simple art project. And another family discussion page. And this one talks about talking to strangers in various situations. I really like this page because not everyone will even look the same or believe what you believe. So this page talks about there are all kinds of people, and we don't want to discriminate. They may not look like you or believe what you believe, but it's important to be kind. And what about people with disabilities? And so this page helps kids not to be so quick to judge. And those disabilities may not just be physical, right? They could also be learning disabilities. This page is about using your voice and when to use your loud voice and also your quiet voice. And sometimes we don't want to be the one talking. We also want to be the one listening, because that is a skill to have, to be able to listen. Learning to listen can show we care about people. Here's a cut and paste page about how to behave when you go to people's houses. You may want to make sure to wipe your feet before walking in, hang your coat on a hook, wash your hands before you eat, put your dirty dishes in the sink. And some of these manners we have addressed before. So this is a great way to review what we had learned about social etiquette and manners. I'm pretty impressed how Evan Moor didn't miss areas, even in how to respectfully be around other people's pets. And these pages are dealing with etiquette in a restaurant or a night out. I'm sure a lot of parents can appreciate this one, where we are addressing rules while our kids are in a store. Shopping cart safety, which my little ones are not always good about. Here's some questions to ask in a store and how to show respect. When to say please and thank you and excuse me. And lastly, teaching about stealing and whether it's okay to touch something that belongs to someone else. So that's it. I really do hope this video was helpful. Our first grader enjoyed this resource, and it has definitely prepared her to face some social situations that she is timid about. And I want to thank y'all for being here. Can you please like this video if it was helpful for you? And don't forget to check out the Timber Doodle links in the description box to get your hands on these resources yourself. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Happy homeschooling, y'all.